Hey, this is Ramon, Channels Alpha 4. If you're wondering why the skin tone has gone down a little bit, winter is coming and my tan's fading away as my running outside doesn't get as much sun. So, anyway, I have a complaint against Catholic apologists. And this is specifically going out to Catholic apologists. So if you're not interested in Catholicism and you're not interested in hearing a complaint to fellow Catholics from a Catholic, switch off now. Why are all the Catholic apologists former Protestants and former atheists? And why do all the Catholic apologists seem to only address a Protestant mindset? I'm a Catholic. I was born a Catholic. I was raised and I still live in a Catholic community. This whole area that I live in is 1 million people on one side and 1 million people on the other side of the border. And this one community of 2 million Hispanic people. We were born Catholic, we grew up Catholic, we were raised Catholic, and we have questions. We have issues that we want answered. And I understand that for you, the apologists, it's a question of trying to convert people. But what about trying to get people to stay? What about addressing people's concerns that are already members? A lot of apologists don't seem to care about that they're only interested in conversion and numbers in the pews. But it's more than that. Religion and faith is much more than just membership in a parish or a church. And I think some of that comes from the Protestant mindset that you guys are coming from, where it's a desperate call to get people into the church. That's not what Catholicism is about. Catholicism is a lifelong thing. Once a Catholic, always a Catholic. You're born into it. It's generational. So I wish more Catholic apologists would address Catholic issues and not just Protestant concerns. Because I love Protestants. I'm totally cool with it. I listen to several Protestant, Calvinist, and Baptist and Southern Baptist preachers. I have them on podcast. I have them on, I watch them on TV. I have them on YouTube. I enjoy listening to their stuff. But they're not talking to me. And you're not talking to me either. And that's a problem. I absolutely love going to a Baptist church. When you go to one of their church services, that's the right term, it's beautiful. You walk in and everybody greets you. And this was actually kind of uncomfortable the very first time this happened, is that they'll single you out during their service and they'll say hello to you. And they sing songs and you'll dance and you'll hold hands and you come out feeling uplifted. When you come out of Mass, nobody's coming out of a party. Everybody's coming out a little somber and a little more sober in their thinking. Nobody comes out of Mass like, oh man, I just had an amazing time. And I think that there is room for that. The Protestants have a great community. When you leave the Protestant church, every Protestant I know who's ever converted to Catholicism says that it was so hard leaving their community. With Catholics, when Catholics leave the church, nobody notices. We don't get phone calls from the priest. There isn't a nun showing up to be like, hey, you haven't been in Mass for like 3 weeks. What's going on? Are you okay? That doesn't happen. There's no sense of community. If you're not actively engaged, they're not engaging with you. It's just you show up and you go home. And Protestants call us out on that all the time. And I think that's something that we should be called out on. And to the apologists who's actually listened to this, to the Catholic apologists, why aren't you addressing that? Why aren't you addressing our faults? Instead of looking at the sty in their eye, why aren't we looking at the log in ours? Because they call us out on a bunch of stuff. But they also call themselves out on a bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, we're busy only defending against them. So that's my complaint. And I hope someone out there who's an apologist addresses that, because I ain't. I'm going to be talking about other religions real soon. I got Taoism coming up on my list of books that I'm going to be reading in reviewing for you guys. So someone who's actually an apologist and knows something about religion more than I do, address this, because I want to hear somebody, especially a Catholic, who's an apologist, talk to me instead of talking to the Protestant or to the atheist. How about you service your own community, our community? Peace.